What is going on, guys? Give me a quick mic check before we turn everything on and get hot. Mic check, 1, 2. Alrighty. I think we are live. If everyone can tell me just really quick, if you can hear me clearly, there's no issues in that department. We'll get the program rolling. And I'm glad you guys were able to enjoy the musical selection for tonight. That was another royalty-free hit from the YouTube library that I greatly appreciate. One of my favorite artists. I'll put a link to his work in the description of this video. That way, if you're going out tonight in your lowrider or van, maybe deciding to wear some bell bottoms, you can put that music on and kind of show off a little bit. I'm sorry to disappoint that I'm dressed. You guys think I was actually going to come on here just bare-chested and oiled up with a mustache? And I mean, the show would just go viral. It's not going to be that spicy tonight. I think it's going to be cool. Tonight we're going to I think I'm going to do something legal. I don't know if it's legal or not. I have the Motor Trend episode. I'm going to show you some clips from Texas Metal about Ted Nugent's Bronco that they recently built. And it looks like it's recent, but this thing's been a year or so in the making. But it is a crate engine. We sent them 6R80 transmission, our accessory drive. We sold them just about everything on the build. You know that we visited Ekstensive Metal not too long ago and talked with Max. He's in the episode as well. So I'll show you some of the clips from there that pertains to the coyote swap stuff. We're also going to update you on the RPM Act. I found a cool little link that PRI has that's very interesting, and it tells you a lot about what's going on out there and who's actually behind the bill and who's sponsoring it to go through government. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to take questions from the live chat room. We have the super chat available too. But to begin, I'm just going to thank you guys for joining me here tonight and introduce myself in case you don't know who I am. I am Frank Perdomo. I work here at Power by the Hour Performance. If you don't know who PBH is, we are coyote swap specialists, 6R80 specialists, 10R80 specialists, getting into the Godzilla stuff, in general, car guys that are basically Ford-centric. So if you have anything in those topics, the live chat is where you want to be. There's a bunch of great people in there, and they can answer some of the questions before I even get to it. Unfortunately, the live chat moves really, really quick. So if you have a question that you need to get answered and you're not getting the answers in the live chat, you haven't sent us an email, and you haven't called us, the super chat is a great way to do it. It is a paid question. We cover all the paid questions and comments. You can do it as low as $2.99, and as you can see, Daniel Green can do it up to $500. You don't have to do that, but all those proceeds go back into the events that we go to, the projects that we work with, and the content we do here, and equipment that it requires to do that. So it's not just in the pocket, or, you know, some guys give me beer money, but that stuff we usually try to reciprocate down the road. So as you can see, Jose Delgado is chiming in with a super chat, and he simply enjoys the music. He says this is music funds. And we will open our 5 o'clock beer here, or excuse me, happy hour beer here in a second. Continuing with the information about PBH, if you want to see our product lineup, you can go to PBHperformance.com. You can call us Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 Eastern. Phone number is 561-737-2331. You got Frank Pezzo, Christian Papa, Travis Dean, and myself on the phone lines, and you can also email us, info@pbhperformance.com. My direct email is frank@pbhperformance.com. Anything you have as far as tech questions, potential items you want to buy, maybe you're looking at an engine that you're looking to buy for a swap, or just kind of need a general synopsis of what to do and what to look for, hit us up. We will try to get to you as much as possible. We have a ton of orders coming in every day. We will update you on control packs. Control packs. I did speak to Ford Performance today, and nothing new to unveil there. They're just on back order, and they don't have any supply to meet the demand. So anyway, what else? PBH is located in West Palm Beach, Florida, right at the end of the airstrip at Palm Beach International Airport. If you have anything that you need us to do, unfortunately, we do not have a full-service shop. We use that all for research and development and warehousing. So if you need somebody to do an installation for you, feel free to reach out to us. We have a network of people that we deal with every day that do these swaps on a regular basis. And who knows, that guy could be in your backyard. He can be an hour away, maybe even 6 hours away, and be the perfect fit for your build. And we will tell you who they are and where they're at and try to get you connected. So keep that in mind as well. Don't really have any PSAs today other than the control packs. We're getting a ton of inquiries on control packs. We have over 100 control packs on back order, and recently we removed them as far as an item that you can buy from our website, and we're talking about the Ford Performance control packs, right? The Ford Performance control packs are on intergalactic back order. We have over 100 of them paid for and ordered, and we have even more coming in on our request. And every time we get a request, that's a $0 purchase on our website, we order your control pack. So when it comes in, we tell you, hey, it's here. You want to pay for it? You tell me, hey, yes or no. If you say no, it just goes to the next guy. No problem. So everyone who is paid is getting a control pack, and we are buying them everywhere we can find them right now. even from other people that have bought them already and maybe gave up on their project, to try to fill those orders. If it means we make $0 or even lose a little bit to fill the order, we're doing that. So we're trying everything we can. I spoke to Ford Performance today. They don't have any real new update. There really isn't any great light at the end of the tunnel here. They don't have the parts, and they don't have the access to the parts to fill the orders. They were on the ragged edge of this before the pandemic, and during and after now, I guess, the pandemic, it's even worse. So that's why there's this big dead space. There's no control packs. So keep that in mind. Spread the word. Be patient. If you've bought one from us, don't be hasty and cancel it and get your refund and then go try to find something. If you can, go try to find it. If you find it, make sure they have it in stock. If they have it in stock, make sure they ship it. And once it ships, you hit us up. We will refund you 110% or 100%. I'm not going to give any money back that you didn't spend, but 100%. We're going to take care of you. If you found it, there's no hard feelings. You're not going to piss us off or anything. It's just, that's the lay of the land right now. And it's starting to look like it's all person to person to get these control packs. Guys that have bought them, maybe didn't get far along enough in the project. They're trying to make a little bit of money on it. They have them. Time and supply is key right now. Control packs in general have gone up in price. They're well over $2,000 now. And that's going to be the norm moving forward. So, anyway, let's say hello to everybody. I don't want to miss that at all. I'm Hung Solo MF. Hey, you're the first comment I see in my chat room, so you go down as first. Wild Horse 50 as usual in the house. What's going on? 2000 MCR. Great Odin's Raven. Can't go Wednesday without reading that. Oh, Hams. Old Uncle Ted Old Uncle Ted. Yee. Yeah, he tears it up in the episode. We'll look at it here real quick. Alfredo Diaz, what's going on, brother? Gabe Sanders, Jose Delgado, Robert Whedon, hello, how are you doing? Hope it's a great week, everyone. Absolutely, I hope everyone's having a great week. There's no reason to not have a great week. Thank you, Robert. Very positive message there. Parker, what's going on? Parker, I was looking at your connector situation. We're working on finding that other side of the connector if you really want to make that happen, bro. I think I found it. The problem is Ford doesn't have that connector readily available. And what we're talking about, Parker was looking for the 16-pin square connector in the Gen 1 control pack that goes to the blunt leads. Now, in the main body harnesses, the female side, we need the male side. And that's the one that's hard to get. We're working on it because I have a control pack here that needs one all of a sudden, coincidentally. And we're going to try to track it down. I think we tracked it down to a couple different applications. 06 Ranger transmission harness. That's the connector, but we can't find the part number for the male part, I guess. I'm not going to do that. Anyway, keep up with me. I'll let you know as soon as we find it. Ford More Performance. What's going on, brother? Jordan Dunning. You guys are all making comments about the intro music. I knew I would. It would stir something inside of all of you. Alfredo Diaz. Yep. Gabe Sanders. Let's see if I'm Ryan Merrill. Hope you're feeling better, bud. Ryan's been in the hospital fighting an infection. I'm actually violating part of his HIPAA here now, but to hell with him. Hope you feel better, man. Rest. Don't rush it. Get over that infection so you can finish your swap. You got some parts waiting for you. Jaime's Garage. What's going on, brother? Jaime's back. Terry Scott, how we doing? Wild Horse has a message. Hey, Frank, new direction with the Torino. Godzilla seems to be calling to it. What's the status with Godzilla and PBH? We are manufacturing the AC compressor bracket for the Sandon. I also found out that there's a gentleman that is running a Godzilla engine off of a Gen 1 Coyote PCM. He's on YouTube. He's been doing a build series. He's been building his driveway. Very admirable. He's doing all that. And he's got an 11 to 14 car, and he got it running with the stock computer, albeit it seems like certain things aren't really functioning. For example, the Godzilla has 4 knock sensors. There's only 2 because, again, it's a Coyote computer. You can't veer outside of what the Coyote does. So with some custom tuning, which I think Palm Beach Dyno, Rob Shoemaker did, which obviously means that, you know, access is there because the Gen 1 computer is probably one of the heavier tuned and thought out and figured out computers in the Coyote realm. Guys like Lund Racing, if they take it on, could probably figure it out too, but PBD has got it running. There's a video of him revving it up and so forth. That means that potentially, if you do all those modifications to the Godzilla engine, you could use our Gen 1 control pack to run it. And if you're using a Coyote PCM, Gen 1, that means you could put a 6R80 behind it. And that's been the truth going back through all the older 4-valve, 3-valve swaps that we've tinkered and played with. So if there's a path to do it, I think he used a 6.2 Raptor crank sensor and trigger wheel. Had to modify the engine harness a little bit to work. But he's got a video of it running, and he outlines what he did, not in super high focus on what pins are here and there, but he gives you the gist of it. And if you're a smart guy and you have access to stuff and there's a tuner willing to work with you, I think there's a path to success with a control pack with a Gen 1 computer, which is pretty cool because we got Gen 1 control packs in stock. Body harnesses are in stock, transmission harnesses in stock, computers, O2 sensors, mass airflow meters. It's the only control pack that's readily available right now, actually, and it works on GT500 engines. I've seen it work on 3-valve, I've seen it work on 4-valve, and now there's a guy essentially using the same makeup to control a Godzilla, at least enough to rev it up in his driveway. So until I do it and see it and do it here, we can't subscribe to it. But if he says that that works and there's proof of it, then the components you would need to do a swap may lead through PBH because we do have them readily available. So anyway, Andrew Hanlon's in the house. Brandon Roberson. The AC solenoid relay parts are already on the website. So they're up there right now. You should be able to buy those, and we do have them in stock. So that's the diode. It's not a relay. It's a diode to make sure you don't trigger your AC compressor when your Coyote computer triggers the cooling fan to turn on. So, and it does handle all the power distribution. So Brandon, it is up there. You can buy it right now. Yeah, Parker Golightly has a Gen 1 control pack for sale. He's asking $21,000. It's $21K. I think I accidentally wrote him that the other night. I might have been a little inebriated. Speaking of inebriated, tonight we're drinking a Funky Buddha Vibin Groovable Lager. Yes. I believe these guys are owned by, they're founded in Florida. I think they're Sam Adams now. Anyway, they're down in Oakland Park. Really nice brewery. Oh, yeah. Cheers, everybody. Here's to Hump Day. I love it. I love it. Eric Copeland, how we doing? Eric asked if we make our own version of the control packs for Gen 2 as far as wiring. Not yet. Not yet, because I believe there is hope that that will be a reality soon enough. I believe it's going to be a reality for Gen 2 and Gen 3 because of what's going on with availability. I think it only makes sense for us to hop into the ring and say to hell with our competition and make our own shit. All right. And Troy says, I ordered a low-car shifter 6R80 3 weeks ago from Low Car, and it's still not here. Do you have them there at PBH? No. The reason why we don't stock them, the reason why we don't sell them any longer is exactly that. They struggled to get them out to us, and some of the results were mixed. In the future, you'll have another option that I will consider to be a better option with more features for you, and we lost signal. Why did we lose? Oh, there we're back. We regained signal. I might have froze there. For you guys. So But low-car shifters, yes, availability has always been an issue with them from the beginning, from when they came out with them, and consistency of quality was a little bit of an issue too, as far as how well they shifted and so forth, and adjustments. A lot of guys like them and use them, but I think a big thing is that it's really the only aftermarket shifter that's specifically for the 6R80, and I think soon enough we'll have some competition. 3 weeks is nothing. 3 weeks is absolutely nothing. We were getting 3-4 weeks 2 years ago. This is the pandemic. Man, 10 weeks. It's like ordering from an old paper catalog again. Send a check, and eventually you'll get something in the mail. That's kind of the lay of the landscape right now. All right, who else we got in here? We'll start getting going on the RPM Act. Kevin Biasosha. How you doing, man? I probably butchered that. Waffle for that. Great info, Frank. Yep. Gen 2 PCM? No. Gen 1. Gen 1's going to be the way to go. Don't try to mix it up. Gen 1. Gen 1. Gen 1 stuff is more compatible with older stuff, which has more flexibility. It's been modified more, and there's more people that know about it and cut their teeth in tuning on coyotes with it. So try to go Gen 1, Wild Horse. Plus, you can get the body harness from us. If you try to do this with a Gen 2 control pack, you're going to order one now and get it in like 2023. Okay. Well, I did lose, I lost KBS, whatever that means. It went red for a little bit, and then YouTube sent me a message and stuff. But anyway, we're past that. So, another sip. The RPM Act. It has been reintroduced. It's on the docks for 2021, 2022. And the way they do that is they have to have state representatives hop into the ring and sponsor the bill. And that way it goes through the chain all the way up to law where it's signed. So PRI had sent an email out, and I started reading through it, and I'll show you what it looks like here. I'll read to you what it says, and actually I'll put it on the screen here. Let's put it on the screen. Let me make sure I don't have anything burning in the background. Okay, let's go here. All right, here we go. After more than 1.1 million letters to legislators, the Recognizing the Protection of Motorsports Act of 2021, the RPM Act, was reintroduced in the House with 47 original co-sponsors, including U.S. Representative Richard Hudson. Richard Hudson has been the champion of this. He's the guy from North Carolina who speaks very, very well. He's the guy who's grilled 2 EPA directors on the stand because he's on the committee that decides their budgets, and they have to answer questions to get their budgets approved. Since the introduction, 9 new legislators have signed on the RPM Act, H.R. 3281, including Representative Young Kim from California, Troy Balderson from Ohio, John Joyce from Pennsylvania, the list goes on here and there. This brings the total number of RPM Act co-sponsors to 56, including 40 Republicans and 16 Democrats. So it's fairly bipartisan. And we're going to click this link here in a second, but I'm going to keep reading this here. PRI thanks those that have stepped up and urges the industry, including motorsports manufacturers, retailers, businesses, and racers, to keep voicing their support for the RPM Act. We must continue to make our voice heard until the bill is passed into law. Only then will the industry have certainty and clarity that it is legal to convert street vehicles into dedicated race cars. One of the original advocates for the RPM Act, Representative Hudson, is a leading voice on the U.S. House Energy and Commerce Committee for the cause. He has questioned the 2 past EPA administrators during public hearings about their position on motor vehicle conversion for racing. To learn more about Representative Hudson, whose district includes Charlotte Motor Speedway, watch this overview video here, which is him speaking in an overview meeting with SEMA and the people of the RPM Act. To send a letter urging legislators to support the RPM Act, visit here. I'll put a link to this in the description of this video. But what I found really interesting was this little link here. View the complete list here. Now this takes us to congress.gov, and it shows you everything that's going on with bills. And this is H.R. 3281 to amend the Clean Air Act to provide an exemption from certain anti-tampering provisions for certain actions for modifying a motor vehicle that is not legal for operation on a street or highway and is to be used solely for competition and for other purposes. So that's the main part of the bill. So, shows you when it was introduced, blah, blah, and it shows you the tracker. It's introduced, then there's a flag here that says passed House, passed Senate, to President, became law. And that's obviously what's coming down the line. But down here is what really triggered me, because now they have this list of all the representatives and a list of all the states where you can filter it. You can filter it by party, by state, and then you can click on these guys, right? So if I go to Florida, it'll pull up the 2 guys in Florida that have already sponsored and signed the bill to send it to Congress. And then it shows you, this is, what's his name? Where's it? Representative Daniel Webster. Shows you his address, his phone number. He's a Republican, Florida District 11, 115th, 117th, 2017 to present. And then it shows you the territory that he represents. It's pretty neat. You can read his biography. You can see it on a full map. You can go visit his building. You can call him, whatever you need to do. It gives you a lot of information. It either offers support or how you can help. But it's neat because then if you don't see your representative, oh, I'm going to go back. If you don't see your representative that you're contacting on this list, you can kind of urge him, say, listen, Daniel Webster signed it. Bill Posey signed it. Why didn't you sign it? And then you can narrow things down to see who, let's say, on the Democratic side has signed it. And you can see Raul Ruiz, Norma Torres, Haley Stevens, Salud Carbajal, Jim Cooper, all these people. A lot of them from California. So, hey, California knows what's up. A lot of motorsports manufacturers over there racing and off-roading and boating, all that part of the lifestyle in California. It's important. That's a lot of income to the state that they're potentially going to lose if they're all illegal. So they know what's up, all these guys here. So there's a lot of information here, and like I said, I'll share this link so you can track what's going on with the bill. And you can see there's a lot of different states that have just 1, 2, 3. California has the most, which was surprising at first, but not surprising. You can see them all listed there. And who else we got? Coming in second, Pennsylvania. Coming in strong with 6. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool link. Like I said, I'll put it in the description of this video, and you can kind of thumb through it and see who's who and what they're doing, who they represent. And you can reach out to them and give them support. You can use it as leverage to your other representatives and say, hey, if he's for it, why aren't you for it? Have you even considered it? Why don't you pledge your position on it? I'm part of your constituency. So it's an interesting thing. And that's what's going on with with the RPM Act, which is working in the right direction, I believe. Well, Ryan Merrill, hey buddy, rest. Listen, you can always watch it on the replay, brother. Don't worry about it. That's what's nice about YouTube. Get some rest, man. Rest as much as possible. I never had that, but I had pneumonia once, pretty bad. I was in the hospital for a week. They almost had to put a tube, intubate me, basically, to breathe. And I was only like 18, 19 years old at the time. It's not fun being weak and having a lung infection and stuff like that, especially what's going on now, man. You got to get better, get out of the hospital. Get out of the hospital as quick as possible. So yeah, everybody wish Ryan well. If you're friends with him on Facebook, send him a message of encouragement. He's been battling something up there in Canada. So, all right, so let's talk about Ted Nugent. Like I outlined earlier in the video, or in this episode, I went to Texas 2K with Alex Flores from Lund Racing. They get a chance to visit with Gumby and with Ekstensive Metal, which is the TV show. That's the shop that is the TV show Texas Metal. And they had bought a series of engines from us, and they didn't really tell us who's what they're going into, because it's a little proprietary to the show and the producers and stuff like that. So one of the supercharged Gen 2 crate engines that we sent them, along with a built 6R80, our speed drive, our speed series pulleys, all the trimmings, they end up being for Ted Nugent. Now, admittedly, I'm not a huge Ted Nugent fan as far as music. I imagine I've heard his music and I do enjoy it, but it's not like I have his poster on the wall or anything like that, right? I couldn't name any of his albums. I know who he is, mainly because of his political stances and his public persona, which I don't disagree with him on a whole lot of stuff. So it's neat to see that one of our products went into his build. There's other celebrities that have gotten our parts. I believe an automatic swap that we sold a couple years ago went to Robert Downey Jr. If you remember, Robert Downey Jr. had one of those Core Autosports or Speed Core carbon fiber Boss 302s, had a Roush supercharged engine in it, and it was stick, and he wanted it to be an automatic, so they had to put an auto in it, and they bought all the stuff from us. So, of course, we can't openly say that, because, but whatever. It's Robert Downey Jr. He bought all our stuff. Foxcast Media in the house. What's going on, brother? I hope you recovered from your event. Been meaning to give you a call, see how everything went. So, this build started going down, and when I was there, that Bronco, I believe, was there. It was being worked on. They were filming this episode in particular, but I didn't know who it was for or what was going on. So, I got to see it. I couldn't photograph it because, again, there were some limitations on what we can do and what we can film. While I was there, I filmed everything outside of where the show stuff was because, again, it's all proprietary. But it ended up being for Ted Nugent, and that's pretty cool. I can't say that it's was a goal of ours to get in Ted Nugent's Bronco, but it's cool to see not only Ekstensive use our product well, have very little issues, streamline things for them so they get these builds done. Guys like Motor Trend doing the same thing. There's a bunch of builds everywhere, just like with all of our customers, just outlining stuff and making it as easy as possible for everyone to get it done. And they've been cookie cuttering these things with supercharged Gen 2, put them in Lincolns, trucks, Mustang, whatever they got. And this one went into Ted Nugent's Bronco, 4-wheel drive, and it turned out pretty cool. I think it turned out really, really cool. What I'm going to do now is show you some clips from the show so that you can see, in case you don't have a membership. And this may demonetize me. I don't care. These videos don't get huge monetization anyway. Okay, so I'm going to try this. I am going to switch over to the screenshot, and you should have audio. Let's see. All right. The Rockin' Bronco episode is Season 4, Episode 9. Definitely watch this episode. And support the guys at Texas Metal. Oh! Uh-oh. We've been struck by Daniel Green. He's in the house. Daniel, I hope Christian got you your quotes that you're waiting on. I think I overheard him talking with you today about it. That's why I didn't hop all over it, man. When we talked the other day, I found out Christian was already working on it. I let him roll with it. Oh, okay. I'll have to put a little box with my face at the bottom. I can do that. That's not hard to do at all, actually. That's a good tip. Thank you, Ohams. Ohams. But yes, Daniel Green has set the bar again and has donated $300. Daniel has qualified as our first viewer sponsor for the wrap. He's done exceptionally. He donated a lot to the channel, so thank you very much, man. The wrap, I had to sit down with our wrap designer, and we found a few things with the livery that I liked, and the colors and the stripes. That's really going to turn out nice. And as soon as he gets back from his rally that he's on, we're going to try and nail down the final rendering of the design. And then I can use it here to show you guys what it's going to look like. And you guys can sign on and see if you want to be viewer sponsors, get a commemorative hat, get your name on the car for at least a year, if not longer. because I don't know if I'll do it again. Maybe on there permanently. So, oh, good news, Daniel. Thank you very much, buddy. I appreciate that. It'll look really cool. I showed you guys a little bit of a sneak peek, and I don't know if you guys here. Let me see if I can queue up what the livery looks like on the car that I'm trying to mimic. Just here, searching the internet. Actually, I have it downloaded. There it is. Oh, yeah. So, I'm going to show you quickly. And he strikes again. Unreal. Maxing it out, Daniel. Full throttle, buddy. Thank you. Thank you. So, I'm going to show you a screen grab again. This is the car that I'm trying to steal the livery off of. And if you don't know this car, this is the Zaxpeed Escort MK2 Mark II. Run in Europe. Zaxpeed was basically the motorsports arm of Ford in Europe. And they have some killer colors. The car's white. I got gold wheels. I looked at this and said, man, I'd like to make that work on my Fox. And we're going to make it work. And it's going to look really cool. It's a little bit of a challenge because there are body lines that don't exist on my car that this car has, the way the hood meets the fender and stuff like that. But we're going to make it work. Chuck at CRD Wraps is going to knock it out for me. And this is the inspiration. And I think we're going to come really close to it. Here's a model of that car in black. And you can see the hood stripe down the side here, up the back, and it'll probably wrap around the deck lid. That's where your guys' viewer sponsor names will be found. Absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah, we'll stop peering into my desktop here. What do you guys think of that? Daniel says, why not bang the red? Yeah, you're knocking the shit out of the red line on this thing for sure. It stays up there, I think, for a whole week. Oh man, that's crazy, man. Thank you so much. Thank you. That's all I can say. But yeah, I'm excited about what's coming up. I was hoping to show you guys our oil pressure sender tonight, but our oil pressure senders did come in. They arrived on Monday, and we went right into test fitting them, and we found that the chamfer for the O-ring just wasn't perfect. It wasn't just perfect. So we had to send them back to our manufacturer, and he is updating them, and we should have them by either tomorrow or Friday. So I might have to put Daniel's face on my helmet for all he's donated. But we will have them end of this week, so I can do a product video on it, launch it, fill orders. Everyone who had an order in with us for a Dakota Digital sender or the Vibrant version for the Gen 3 is going to get this in exchange. Even though it costs us money, we're going to take care of our customers. And then all the orders for the new design, you're going to get yours as well. And then we'll have them in stock ready to go. And if you don't know what we're talking about, it is our oil pressure sender adapter. It works on Gen 1, 2, and 3. It's interchangeable, has a double threaded adapter, and it has 2 different threads on the hex body. And we'll go over it next week. I should have it in my hands next week to kind of show you live on the show what it can do and what you can use it for. And then we'll also have adapter kits to work with oil filter relocation kits, right? So like with little elbows and stuff like that to make sure that you can continue to use it even though you remote mounted your oil filter. If you need to have that oil pressure sender at the engine, which is typically what you do if you want to plug your factory one in, because of the wiring and everything, this will allow you to work in any which direction you want to go. Plus, if you have a turbo system or you need to feed pressurized oil to another system, it's a port for that. You have two 1/8-inch MPT ports. Additionally to that, it's exclusive to PBH. And what was I going to say? Oh, if you want to run additional sensors, you have two ports there. So if you want to have oil temperature, you can do that. Or if you want to have an independent oil pressure sender, separate from your gauges, like for a logger, like AIM system or race pack, you can accommodate all those things. So a lot of cool stuff there. It's coming. It's coming quick. We have another really, really hot product. I wish I could really talk about it more because it's going to be fun to show everybody and make it available to everyone. It's going to also make a lot of swaps easier. That one's coming too. That one's coming too. It's happening. And like I already mentioned, we have the Godzilla AC compressor bracket. So Godzillas have power steering pumps on them from the factory, alternator, and they have a factory compressor. It's the same thing as Coyote. It's kind of a mixed result. That stock AC compressor is designed to work in that stock AC system. It is not the same style of AC system you have in your Fox body or your vintage air system or your old air product system, whatever. It works completely different, and the control of the compressor is done differently. It involves CAN bus. If you put it in there and it works for you, great. You don't need to buy anything. It worked great for you. But I have continuously heard from people that are buying our stuff that they tried that and it didn't work. They had mixed results. They had problems. It didn't turn on. The condenser's too hot. It never built pressure, regulated, whatever. So we're designing a Sandin SD7 compressor bracket that's going to directly replace the factory AC compressor on the factory drive. We don't have to mess with the power steering pump stuff because there's already one there from the factory. So we may end up making a power steering pump bracket for the GM Type 2 pump. That's about it. The factory stuff works. It should work. Ford's telling me it's the best engine since sliced bread, and so is all the other YouTube guys. So everything on there is perfect, right? Let's see here. Why not a hint of the new product? Take my money. The new product, I will tell you, is transmission related. Let's see here. Suecra. Can the AC stock system work in the early model S197? The AC stock system, an early model S197. I don't think so. If you have an early model S197, I'm assuming you're talking about 3-valve, 05 to 09, maybe 10. You want to use that AC compressor that was on that engine because of the same reason. CAN bus controllability, all the multiple sensors on the different lines, and the way that compressor is designed to work. Now, if you buy our accessory drive and you decide to use a new AC compressor, the Coyote, keep in mind that the mounting position is different and the pulley is larger. So the belt sizes that we provide you are never going to be for that compressor. If you decide to run our belts on that compressor, be mindful that your tensioner may be completely maxed out. You're going to have to put a different belt on there, measure it, and get the correct belt. That way you don't have any issues moving forward. Let's see here. Jason Freeberg says, hey, Frank, a little late tonight. Was working on putting my 4 fuel system in. That's a good reason to miss the show. It's 4 innovations, work on the car. Just a trigger switch away from it working. Very nice. Very nice. Jordan, thank you very much, brother. Suecra says 4-liter V6. Okay. I would use our modular Ford AC brackets and get a compressor for a 3-valve and put it on there. That way, everything's factory. Everything's factory. In the 3-valve, the computer wasn't controlling the AC system. It works on its own. There's no CAN bus, so you can keep that. And this will help simplify the AC systems when we do these swaps. You don't have to mess with wiring CAN bus to your AC sensors and stuff like that, or have the panel from an 11 to 14 car in your V6 car to have your AC system work. So I would go that route. If you're not using our speed drive or anything else, just buy the modular Ford brackets and get a 3-valve compressor and use all 3-valve lines. They should bolt right up. They should be factory as far as swapping out into a 4-liter V6 from that era. Alfredo Diaz has guessed, and I cannot tell him if he's right or not. Hey, Matthew Flabball is in the house, man. I've been chatting with Matt here and there. He's going to be doing some tuning soon on his car. Just got it back. Excited to see that. We did a video feature on Matt's car from Foxtoberfest a few years back. And I'm hoping to go to Foxtoberfest again this year on top of going to Bowling Green with the car. And it should be fully wrapped. So if you're going to one of those events and you're a viewer sponsor, you can take a picture of yourself next to it, whatever, this and that. And it's a cool little feather in the cap thing, you know? And the hats I think the hats are going to turn out hot. I think the hats are going to turn out really hot. I can imagine those 3 stripes, you know, having the PBH logo here and having the 3 stripes kind of come across here on a nice light colored hat. That's going to be pretty hot. And everyone who is a viewer sponsor will get one of those hats. This weekend, if you're in the Nashville area, there is the Nashville Good Guys event. And there's a couple guys from our area heading up that way. So if it's in striking distance, give it a shot. All right. What have we been on for? We've been on for 54 minutes. So let's look at what else is going on in the chat room here. Let's play in the chat room. Well, that makes sense. Oh, Swekra talking about his 4-liter V6 to Coyote swap. Well, that makes sense. I'll look for a compressor and lines from a junkyard. The compressor's in a different area on the 3-valve, so I'll replace the stock. Yes, that's exactly what you want to do. Get all the factory 3-valve lines. Probably not the accumulator dryer. I would put a new one of those on there. Condenser, I mean, if you use anything from the junkyard, you got to flush it. Flush it 1,000%. They even sell AC flush fluid and stuff like that. If you have an orifice tube, you can't back flush an orifice tube, just replace it. Condenser in the AC accumulator dryer bottle, I would not take the chance. I would just get the lines that you can flush, and use those if you want. A lot of times, aftermarket AC suppliers have this stuff fairly affordable. Rock Auto is also your friend when it comes to that. eBay, that kind of stuff. So keep that in mind, because if you go out there and spend an afternoon in the junkyard, pull all this stuff out, only to then have to get home and do more work to it, and then you got a dented condenser or something like that, or a bracket that's broken, or then you put it all together and it takes out a compressor that you bought from the local auto parts store. A lot of times they won't even warranty a compressor if you didn't put a brand new accumulator dryer when you bought the compressor, if you didn't buy them together. So keep that in mind too. Paddle shifter conversion? No. Oh, so hey, one of one RTR saying, sorry I'm late, couldn't get into the chat. Well, you're here now, brother. I appreciate you joining us. Who's coming up here? Well, where's here, Daniel? Are you in Pennsylvania? Someone had asked when I'm coming to Pennsylvania. That's in August. King of the Mountain. It's in Clareville, Pennsylvania, which from my understanding, Clareville is northwest Pennsylvania, closer to the lakes, I guess. I would totally be down to do a meet here at PBH headquarters. Are you guys local to even join us? I'd love to see all of you here, but I mean, we only got like 5,000 square feet. It's not like a massive facility, and I don't want to have anybody travel to be let down. Honestly, I'd rather meet you guys where you guys are and hang out with you guys and take in what's going on. I think it works out better, but we planned on doing an open house when we first moved into this building and never did it. You know, maybe that day will come. Alfredo Diaz, I'm going to announce that officially once we have the rendering done, so everybody knows what's going on, everything's set in place. But basically, the way I think it's going to work out to is it'll probably be something between $200 to $300. You get your name and your avatar from your YouTube channel on the car, and you get a commemorative hat as well. We'll have to do it outside of YouTube because, unfortunately, they take a big old chunk. So I'll probably set up a PayPal where you can send the money to, and then we'll work from there. It'll probably be 5, maybe max 10 spots. If for some reason we have more calling than 10 spots, then we'll start working into other parts of the car and with those lines and that design. I think what's going to look neat on the deck lid is having the PBH Live logo kind of centered or off centered, and then in the actual lines will be your guy's avatar. And I think I got room there maybe to do 10 or 12 max. But if we have 5, any of them, I mean, anybody wants to do it, it's going to be humbling for me to see that you want to be part of it. And then we'll be taking it out to the events that we scheduled, which is in July, which is Columbus. We got the King of the Mountain event, and then Bowling Green in October. And then we got Foxtoberfest as well in Kannapolis. So we'll be trying to get it to all those events in that succession, if not more. And then we'll just leave it on for next year. Maybe I might just hard park it at Bradenton. Go to some NMRA events. NMRA, do the bookends, basically. Gabe, you would travel from Louisiana to come here for an open house. I tell you what, I could do a live show from my cell phone and just walk you through one day. Until there's a badass event down here, I would hate for you to travel all the way down here. I mean, I'd be flattered, but I feel like it'd be underwhelming, right? It's not like we have a ton of cars here, and there's a bunch of engines and really great people and everything. I just feel bad. I feel like we don't put on a great show when it comes to that. So anyway, we'll work on it. See if we can come up with something. Where are you, Daniel? I'm coming to, like I said, you're in Tennessee. I'm not coming to Nashville, no. Unfortunately, this weekend, got some birthday stuff going on. I didn't plan on going. I've had a hell of a time at home doing a roof, other renovations. I had to get them done in time for the hotter weather. I got another renovation going on at a townhouse that I inherited from my father-in-law. And things have been busy. So I haven't actually been able to touch the car. I got tire blankets. We did cut the differential. I'm working on that video now. I got to get the things rolling tonight. Actually, tomorrow, I'm hoping to spend some time and measure my differential so I can order the axles. And then the next thing is going to be taking that differential over to the machine shop and letting them machine it for the inserts. So, yeah, I'm sorry, man. Next year, I think I'll be in Nashville for sure. I also plan on going to the Ford Takeover event for Caleb in Tennessee as well. So I might be in Tennessee a couple weekends, and I'm also planning on going to Pigeon Forge for the F100 show that just recently passed. So it might be a busy couple weeks there because I think the Ford Takeover event is the weekend before the Pigeon Forge event. So might be in Tennessee a lot in a short span of time. Because it would be all in this month. I'd be going to Tennessee 3 times. And at least twice I'd be towing my car. So I'd probably have to work something out where I go to Ford Takeover. Tow my car there, be part of the event, then tow to Pigeon Forge, find somewhere to keep my car and truck secure, fly home, fly back, go to Pigeon Forge, be part of the event. Well, I don't need to be at Pigeon Forge. So that doesn't make sense. Go to Ford Takeover, haul ass back, fly to Pigeon Forge, be there for that event, fly back, and then trailer out to Good Guys Nashville at the end of the month. That's going to be the plan. Yeah, honestly, that's not a new development. You guys are talking about working on cars here at PBH. We kind of shut it down about 2 years ago, and it's worked out, unfortunately, for the best, I would say. I miss all of our customers, our regulars that we did work on cars and projects, people that were coming through for us to do the work on their vehicles, but it worked out for the best. It allowed us to grow in the right direction. and it gave us the room we needed for our manufacturing that we started here, our warehousing, and then allowed us to focus our energies on meeting the demand of our product, and then it allowed us to grow product-wise as well, because it takes research and development, time to think, time to do stuff, and you need people to do it, good people. And we have a great guy in Mike Chamberlain. We brought on people to help with warehousing and so forth, and it's really growing in the right direction right now. What's allowed me to kind of break off and do more of this stuff, because yeah, I'm on the phones most of the day. I'm answering a lot of tech calls and emails and stuff like that. But when I'm not doing that, I'm doing this. And that's why the videos kind of come in and out as we get more content. If we were working on cars a lot more, we probably would have more content, but it's not really stuff that grows us in that direction. Us doing headers on an 11 to 14 car looks great on social media, but we don't make headers, and we don't make, and the labor, it's not as lucrative. So we had to grow in this direction, and it worked out best for us, because that's why we're here now, brother. Are power modules in short supply as well due to control pack shortages? Power modules might be available, but the only power module you're going to get is probably going to be a Gen 3, the Gen 3 versions, because I don't think Gen 2s are available any longer. If that's available, you get a control pack, unless Ford Racing, you know, cannibalize the fleet in a way. Gabe says, it would be an honor to meet the mad scientist behind PBH and show y'all the completed tribute build. If you want to do it, man, you bring the build down here. We'll hang out. We'll look at the car. We'll look it over. I'll show you all around. We'll do a spotlight video on the car and put it on the channel. Do an interview and everything. It'd be my honor. How about that? Yeah, as far as business goes, it's harder to make money with labor, right? Like mechanical stuff, because a tech is only going to work 40 hours a week, and between lunch breaks and phone breaks and PP breaks and waiting on parts and putting cars in, diagnosing and stuff, you need a lot of those guys to beat the clock on every job to be able to go into the green, right? And we found that our business model and how we approached working on cars and building cars was very time heavy, and it didn't always end up being the best value for the client, right? Because we had to charge for that time. And if you're trying to do headers and gears and stuff like that, you got menu items that you do stuff quickly. Well, it's not like I can hand that to an $8 an hour kid. It still has to be a top level tech. He has to have room to work, and the projects go on the back burner, right? And if something goes wrong, you got to eat it, right? Gears come back, it still makes noise, reshim it. I can't charge the guy more money for that stuff. So to make sure things were right meant that it wasn't profitable, and you couldn't charge enough in that realm, in that industry, in that niche of it, to make it profitable. So parts. We would have ended up needing like 10 bays and 30 technicians to try to turn a buck, and there was no guarantee with that either. And it's just a huge liability as well. So instead of expanding that, we just kind of shrunk it down, condensed it into what we needed so we can do stuff that we need to build more product and come up with more tech, any which way that we can, to ensure that we continue to grow and be flexible. It's one of the big things about what we do here is being flexible, having the ability to kind of shift in a moment, within a week, to come up with an idea, get it 3D printed, test it, and see if it works. If it works, run it and get it to the market. That's one of the really, really cool things about where we're at right now, and I think that'll only improve with time. Manufacturing, unfortunately, right now is a little bit of a dud because of such a high demand. And we'll see what happens in the future, but that's where we're at, and I don't think we're going to veer from that. Do we have a dyno? Yes, we do. We still have a DynoJet 224X. We got new electronics for it. We got to install them, but we don't use them. We'll probably be using it soon when we get Jake's Mamalona done with the turbo system, and see how that goes. Wild Horse said, hell, I'd drive all the way from Canada just so Frank could get... Where is it now? Oh, you retracted it, man. I was just reading it. Just so I can sign his hood or something like that. Chris Shifts, what's going on, brother? I'm going to have to shut it down for the night. It's past my bedtime. I'm going to take one big swig here of my Vibin' Groovable Lager. So Gabe says that'll work for him. I'll keep you posted only if the spotlight video has the 70s porn music in the beginning. We can do better than that. I think we can do way better than that. Eric Copeland asking, any recommended engine builders in Northwest Florida area? No. I don't know of anybody up there, man. I really don't. You know, as far as engine builders go, maybe closer to you would be Keith Ray. Keith Ray, he's the guy who's been doing the builds for Lund recently, I believe, on their Coyotes. And he kind of does it as a hobby, passion on the weekends kind of stuff. But the guy's super, super in-depth engineer kind of guy. He might be somebody good to look up and see if you can hook up with him. But L&M and Livernois, you know, when you guys are talking about geographic questions for engine building with freight the way it is today, just pick a really good company and ship it. It's probably not going to cost more than $100 to $300 to ship an engine. $600 isn't a whole lot when you're talking about getting your engine built right. And the two guys that have never let us down and have always been there for us have been L&M Engines and Livernois. If by any chance you can use an illuminator motor, then the downtime and engine builder doesn't matter. Just anyway. Robert Whedon said I would travel to have dinner. How about this? We'll do it like the celebrities do it. We'll do a cruise. We'll find like one of those night cruises that just goes off into international waters for gambling, and we'll just go out and have dinner and drink. You guys come here, then we'll go to the port and we'll hop on this thing and just talk cars for 6 hours on a cruise ship. And then we'll have an after party. How about that? I'll end up being Bob Hope doing a tour. All right, guys. I'm going to go ahead and shut up. Matt's asking Gabe a question. Gabe, take a look at that there. He's asking where you're at in Louisiana. Terry, thanks for joining, man. Thanks for the comment. Thank you for the support. Also, I forgot to mention this earlier. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell. Like the video, and please leave a comment, even if it's just a thumbs up or an emoji or, hey, I watched it. You know, anything. That really helps our analytics and helps us grow the channel. Just like, Daniel Green blowing it up today in the chat. Thank you for everyone who joined us in the super chat as well. Joined us in the live chat. If you have any questions, post a comment on the video. I will answer it for you as soon as possible. If you need to get a hold of me right away, 561-737-2331. My extension is number 6. info@pbhperformance.com. Frank at pbhperformance.com. We are on social media, Instagram and Facebook. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. Well, the cruise ships aren't running right now, Oham, so I don't know. We may have to charter a boat and go up and down the intercoastal. Which actually is probably a better experience than the damn cruise. We'll order a bunch of pizzas, get 2 kegs, and charter a boat and go up and down the intercoastal here and go down to Pompano, which there's a really good German restaurant down there. We can all have a good time at. Chris Shifts, thank you, buddy. I really appreciate that, man. At the last second. Thank you very much. I really appreciate the support. Guys, I'm going to head out of here. I got to get home and get some things done before the night's out. Cheers. Have a great weekend. Be safe out there. Don't do anything stupid. If you do anything stupid, make sure you record it. Thank you very much for your support, and thank you for choosing PBH. We appreciate it. You guys have a great night.